Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, park guests. It is I, Park Manager Breeding Gamer, here with another unboxing. As you guys can see here, we have the Hammond Collection Stegosaurus. I was actually very happy to be able to find this in stores. Hammond Collection seems to be very rare to locate in my location. Some people have been saying that their targets have them all over the place, and some have been saying they've been looking all over, and no matter where they go, they cannot locate it. But I do have here, finally in my collection, the Stegosaurus, which is a really interesting one. We've got the Lost World Stegosaurus here, but then if you look at the image here, we are given the Jurassic World version. Looking at the box on the side here, we are given a good image of Sarah and the Stegosaurus, which I wish they would have used more of the ones where they're walking in the herd and they're looking at them, not with her running at them in the water there. And of course, we have a good description here. Admiring the distinctive plates and spiked tail, Dr. Sarah Harding comes up close to a young Stegosaurus while trying to capture a photo. The noise from her camera causes the Stegosaurus herd to go on the attack. And then we get the Jurassic or the Lost World logo here. On the back, we are given a couple good shots of the Stegosaurus there with, of course, that beautiful glass eye. Very excited about that. And then the same quote there under the name. We, of course, have our same True Effects premium details for enhanced realism. So definitely not a cheap figure. I think this is about $40 for me to pick up, which isn't too awful bad. But if you were to buy multiples so that you could do herd screenshots of these, I feel like you'd be paying quite a hefty penny for this. But without further ado, let's get her out of the packaging. And here she is. And I have to say, absolutely gorgeous figure here. My favorite version of the Stegosaurus, which of course is the Lost World. You do have a bendable tail there. I've got mine in position. The only downside to this figure that I will go ahead and be upfront with you guys, she is very back heavy. Baby got back for sure, because as you let go, you can see that she's barely, see if we can actually get that there. She's not even touching on the front. She is being completely held by the back legs. So everything from here back, this tail is very hefty, but a very, very beautiful sculpt. This is absolutely, I know you guys know that I am very, very strict and I am very harsh when it comes to my Hammond Collection figures. I have my figures where I'm like, this is a spectacular one. And then recently we've just kind of been having some duds. However, this one I'm very happy with. I love my Spinosaurus. I'm glad I was able to obtain one. But very wobbly, very hard to get into position. And these tails seem to be a little more heavy than what some of these figures can handle. That tail actually causes more problems than anything for me. But definitely looking at this, I cannot tell you guys how much. In fact, as I'm recording this, I'm definitely going to be putting Jurassic Park: The Lost World on while I edit these and put them up. But very hefty figure, and again, all that weight goes right back in here into that tail. All of our sails are they're not flimsy, they're rubber, but they're not bad. They're a separate piece that goes down the back here. And I don't know if it's just my Stegosaurus or what, but mine has a little cowlick here. If I can turn her to the side, has a slight cowlick, and I don't know, it gives her character. I'm not going to be like, wow, mine's defective in any way, but it gives her character. She's got her own little wonky plate, and that's what I like about it. It kind of describes, maybe she was born that way. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. Working down the back here, this color scheme is absolutely to die for. I love this piece more than anything. I recommend this 1,000,000% to anybody who loves The Lost World, or if you just love to pick up Jurassic pieces and collect them, 100% agree. And it's going to go right there, mind the suitcase, but it's going to go right there next to my Stegosaur. You got this kind of like a dirty belly side, or the stomach there is dirty. I think it may be that way on the other side. It is. We've got some paint damage here, some focus there, some nicks in there. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I love this figure to death. She's gorgeous. The mouth does not open. You got that glass eye. This is the Stegosaurus again from the Lost World. You look at that and you know that's the Lost World Stegosaurus. Now the tail spikes, the thagomizer here, is about the same as the plates. They are a rubber rubber-esque feel to them. They're bendable. They don't bend themselves, but they are bendable. But detail, you can see the let me cover up my window there. You can see the striping of the bone and everything there in the Thagomizer. So very, very, very impressed with this figure. 10 out of 10. Cannot recommend enough. This is 100% worth the cost. It was about $40. I think 42 something after tax. But 1,000,000% recommended. In fact, let me go ahead and put another Lost World Stegosaurus next to it for comparison. Having the other Lost World Stegosaurus next to her for comparison, I'm very happy. They both, again, you can tell, you look at one and you're like, yeah, that's clearly, oh, I did not realize mine had a little hole in the thing. I guess you can't really help it with these old rubber pieces here. But yeah, you put them next to each other, and I like the plates on this one a little bit more. There's a lot more detail, believe it or not, in the old plates. A lot of them is just painting. But actually, when you put both side to side, you really could have worse. Of course, the plates on the old one are way more flimsy than these, but that's just, you know, what can you do? And then you have the tail here. I'm wondering how long it's going to be before our Hammond collections have features like that, where you push a button and they actually start like moving or something. Who knows? But yeah, putting both Lost World Stegosaurus next to each other, obviously this one is much larger than this one. Not by too much, but a decent size. And still looks absolutely gorgeous. Very happy. I cannot recommend this enough to you guys. I am so happy I purchased this. And I wasn't sure how I was going to like it when I first ordered it. I'm incredibly impressed now. I'm thoroughly impressed. Now I'm just looking back at my Triceratops and realizing I really need to get the adult Triceratops Hammond collection. I've got the baby, but I really need the adult. And I don't have a way of locating them. They're too expensive. So I guess if I was lucky and someone would be like, hey, I've got a bunch of them, pay for shipping, and they're yours. But finding those is near impossible. I even looked online to find like the Baryonyx or what was the other one? Ceratosaurus. And they're so expensive, I just can't afford it. It's ridiculous. Scalpers have really ruined everything for us. But anyway, I kind of have it to where, because this leg doesn't even stand, I kind of made it to make it look like she was like mid-walk or something, or she's putting that foot out, or putting that foot back to take a step. And yeah, it's not wanting to sit necessarily. She's barely holding on with those front feet. In fact, like I said, I think they're not even, yeah, pardon my old tray table here. I really need to get a better setup than what I have here, so I do apologize. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing of the Hammond Collection Stegosaurus. 1,000,000% recommend this baby. She is gorgeous. She looks fantastic. Great color scheme, great paint job. I love the individual plates, how they look, the Thagomizer, everything about her is absolutely magnificent. There's, of course, the JP logo on the bottom there. And I am very excited to see where we go from here. The Buck Rex is still something that I'm kind of hesitating on, but we'll have to see how that goes. Been keeping an eye on it. I've got my moderator keeping an eye on it for me, so the minute he goes up for sale, we're going to try and order it for you guys. That way we can review it on the channel. All of its weird inflatable costume T-Rex glory. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. Subscribe, because we are so close to 5,000 subscribers. We are already at 4,500, and that is absolutely ridiculous, and you guys have helped us get that far. So thank you guys so much. I love every single one of you. And until then, I will see you all in the next video. This is Burning Gamer, signing out.